Good evening. This is a special meeting of the Molalla City Council for October 29, 2025. Please join me in the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to remind all participants, including staff, elected officials, and members of the public, that Robert's Rules of Order will be enforced in this meeting. We welcome your opinions and look forward to your polite participation. Audience members, we request that you silence your cell phones and not conduct side conversations during the meeting. Thank you. Up next, we'll do roll call, starting with Councilor Gilmer.
Councilor Gilmer present.
Councilor Schenkel present.
Mayor Kaiser present.
Council President Vermillion present.
Councilor Bartholomew present.
Dan Huffson, City Manager present.
City Recorder Christy Tate's present.
Water Quality Superintendent Seth Kelly present.
Finance Director Cindy Sharon present.
All right, we danced through that. Just a reminder to everybody, these mics are extremely sensitive tonight.
Yes, they are.
You can whisper. Otherwise, people will be blasted out. Let's see, does staff or council have any changes to the agenda tonight? All right. Up next, we'll do consent agenda consisting of the City Council meeting minutes for October 8th, 2025. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Is there any discussion? Christy, will you call the roll?
I will. All right. Councilor Gilmer.
Aye.
Councilor Schenkel.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Councilor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 5-0.
All right, up next, we'll have a presentation on the wastewater treatment plant. Mr. Seth Kelly, you ready to present, sir?
Yes, good evening, Mayor and councilors. So just as a little background, the wastewater treatment plant project is the city's largest and most extensive infrastructure project ever. This project will ensure compliance with our NEPADS permit as well as provide the city with the ability to fully realize its fiscal opportunities. We're about 10 months into this project, and since groundbreaking, it continues to move steady. To recap, the last update, the site prep and excavation work was done in the first few months. Fill and plumbing for the new upgrades were in full swing. Some of the sites were getting ready for structural to begin. Today's update, all 3 sites are in structural progress. The sequencing batch reactor and aerobic digester floors are poured. The walls are being erected and poured in sections each week. The control building floors are pulled. The brick walls were laid and the remaining rooms have been framed in. The roofing and siding, when I wrote this, were beginning, but are basically completed by this point. The equalization basin floor is almost completely poured. The reinforcing and all the walls have started. The majority of the site piping runs have been completed and are waiting to be tied into the new structure that are being erected now. If you look behind you, I can kind of give you some pictures, and then if you have any other questions, we can kind of go over them. So, site view, up on the top left, that's the new SBR site with the control building, and on the bottom right is where the new equalization basin will be. On the left, that's not our unit for our UV bank, but that will look a lot like what we'll be getting. On the top right, that is our and is in place, not completely plumbed in, but FKC screw press, which will be dewatering all the biosolids. And then on the left was them unloading a filter that was being delivered, which will get placed to filter the effluent before it goes through the UV channel. And again, all the new elements for this new treatment plant will have grit removal, the sequencing batch reactor, disc filters, UV disinfection, aerobic digesters, which will continue to break down those solids, and then the FKC screw press, which dewaters those biosolids so that we can haul them off at a more fiscally responsible cost. And then on this top left, this is what we started with when they started cutting in for that sequencing batch reactor. And that's basically at floor grade. And then they added 2 feet of 3/4 minus compacted in, and then 2 feet of concrete, and then the walls. And this is some shots of that progress. You can kind of see on this top right one where each different chamber and cell is gonna take shape, and that there's, again, the sequencing factor for this new treatment facility, so that as the demand is there, we'll be able to utilize those cells, and when there isn't the demand there, we can take cells offline. So, and then the site piping, wanted to highlight this because I've been fairly impressed, even myself, with the amount of piping and conduit runs and just miles of new piping that is going in. 24-inch, 18-inch, 8-inch water main, and then a significant amount of conduits running from the old existing plant to the new plant, so that what is going to stay in place can talk to the new plant and they can operate in tandem with each other. And then there's some photos of the control building. If you drive by today, you'll see that the sheeting covering the Tyvek has been put up on the roof and on the siding. They put the fascia boards on now. It's all framed in. And they've started electrical runs to all the outlets, switches, so forth. And then this is where the biosolids dewatering room will be. And then that left one will be where the solids will be stored until they're ready to be hauled off, because it could, especially when we first start up, it might take a while to fill a dumpster to where it needs to be hauled off to go to landfill at any given time. And as the city grows, that'll ramp up. Coming soon. Once the south wall is poured, that one that's facing 211, they'll be able to start getting all the plumbing in there and then get the headworks unit on, which will be where that grit removal will go. And then once the plumbing is in, that can start being, all the reinforcing can start getting placed so that they can get that poured. Once the SBR and aerobic digester walls are all poured for the pad and for the UV filters, the filters in the UV channel, then they can move that crane over to the other side and get the walls up on the EQ basin. But it's it'll be quite a task for them to move that crane. I think they're actually gonna have to tear it apart, move it over there, put it back together. So rather than try to flip-flop, they're just gonna finish one and then go to the other. Any other questions?
Well, I'd like to say, we just came back from the LSC conference here last month, this month, seems like forever ago.
First part of this month.
First part of this month. And I had about 3 people come up to me and said, "Oh, you're from Molalla. You got that Seth working for you." And every single person was incredibly impressed with what you're doing. And I guess you've been going to some other meetings and with other areas and cities and discussing what's going on here. And I get nothing but incredible feedback about you. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. It's great to be able to go somewhere and all you get is really positive feedback about the staff. And you have definitely been a highlight when we go to these conferences, so thank you very much for that.
I greatly appreciate that.
I'd just like to say the same thing happened to me. So I was asked several times about the treatment plant going in and everything with what you're doing. Yeah, your name's getting out there. People know who you are in this industry and are seeking you out.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you.
If anybody watches, he's not available.
Yeah, we don't want her to leave.
He's got a monitor on his ankle.
We weren't supposed to talk about that.
Anybody else? Well, thank you, sir. I look forward to the tour tomorrow. Seth's going to be giving a tour for me tomorrow if anybody wants to go. 12:30 at the original sewage treatment plant entrance inside. So I haven't been able to do a tour yet, so I'm really excited to get down there and see what's going on. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Look forward to it.
I always find it interesting that Councilor Schenkel isn't always so quick to tour sewer sites. Is it because you've been around, them for years and years and years?
Probably, because they really interest me. So I actually know what he's talking about on some of that stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. All right. Up next, we will do public comment. Citizens are allowed up to 3 minutes to present information relevant to the city but not listed as an item on the agenda. Prior to speaking, citizens shall complete a comment form and deliver it to the city recorder. The city council does not generally engage in dialogue with those making comments but may refer the issue to city manager. Complaints should first be addressed at the department level prior to addressing the city council. Public comment period is for items not up. Doesn't matter. We don't have a large crowd tonight, so. Do we have any comment cards, Christy?
We do not.
All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
keep moving on. Up next, we will do our public hearing on ordinance number 2025-10, repealing Chapter 2.18, Parks and Recreation Board from the Molalla Municipal Code. Mr. Huff.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is an item that we intended to repeal when we started the CPC program, and we neglected to do that.
Before I get yelled at, let me do some formality real quick.
Okay.
Okay. This item requires a public hearing. I'm opening the public hearing for ordinance number 2025-10 at 6:12. The purpose of this hearing is to hear a staff report and listen to public testimony. Does any council member wish to acknowledge actual or potential conflicts of interest? All right, Mr. Huff, we're now ready for you, sir.
Okay. So the city had a park and recreation board that was active. It's probably been 10 or more years since it has been. And when we created the community program committee or committee process, we intended to repeal this section because this section talks about a park and recreation board that is almost at the level of a planning commission, how it functions. And we intended to do that, so we're here tonight because we need to do that. And if you have any questions on what that section of the code does or says, I'm happy to answer them, but it's something that we need to take care of.
Perfect. All right. Public comment for this is now open. Is there anybody that would like to speak in favor or opposition? All right. I will close this public hearing at 6:13. Oops, sorry, Mike. Up next will be ordinance number 2025-11, amending the Molalla Municipal Code language in Chapter 2.17.010, Community Program Committee. This item requires a public hearing. I am opening the public hearing for ordinance number 2025-11 at 6:14. The purpose of this hearing is to hear a staff report and listen to public testimony. Does any council member wish to acknowledge actual or potential conflicts of interest? All right, Mr. Huff, we're ready for your report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This was an item that you had discussed previously, and if you look on page 20, it shows you the change that we're looking at making that you have all discussed, and that would, instead of an item C for committees, for community program committees, that members of committee shall elect from amongst their members a chair and vice chair. We're suggesting that you amend that to the chair and vice chair of community program committee shall be members of the Molalla City Council. And right now, we only have one committee that's active, the Beautification and Culture Committee. And by changing this, or by adopting this ordinance, if you do decide to do that, that would force a vote on that committee.
All right. Public comment for this item is now open. Is there anyone that would like to speak in favor or opposition? All right. I will close this public hearing at 6:15. Up next, ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 2025-10, repealing Chapter 2.18, Parks and Recreation Board from the Molalla Municipal Code. Mr. Huff, do you have anything additional you'd like to add?
I have nothing additional to add unless you all have some questions.
All right, having held a public hearing for this ordinance, we are ready to consider a motion.
I move to hold the first reading of ordinance number 2025-10 by title only.
Second.
Oh, sorry.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any questions or discussion? Good? Good? Good. All right. Christie, we have a motion and a second. Would you like to call the roll?
Certainly. Counselor Gilmer.
Aye.
Counselor Schenkel.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Counselor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 5-0.
Now, this is done, correct? We don't need to do two more, we don't need to do another reading?
You need to do another reading and adoption, a motion for another reading and adoption.
All right. I will entertain a motion and adoption for ordinance number 2025-10.
I move to hold the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 2025-10.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right, Christie, will you call the roll?
Counselor Gilmer.
Aye.
Counselor Schenkel.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Counselor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 5-0.
Up next will be ordinance number 2025-11, amending Molalla Municipal Code language in Chapter 2.17.010, Community Program Committee. Mr. Huff, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I do not.
All right. Having held a public hearing for this ordinance, we are ready to consider a motion for approval.
I move to hold the first reading of ordinance number 2025-11 by title only.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any questions or discussion? I have one question for you, Dan. Is this something that the one committee is going to have to change immediately, or is this something they can do like first of the year?
Depends on when they meet again
Okay.
and when this ordinance becomes effective.
Okay. So it'll probably become effective, what, 30 days?
30 days.
Yeah, the one thing is that on January 1st, you all go through the reappointment of liaisons anyway, and so it's not going to be a big deal.
Okay, perfect. Christie, we have a motion and a second. Would you like to call the roll?
Counselor Gilmer.
Aye.
Counselor Schenkel.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Counselor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 5-0.
As we have a unanimous vote, may I have a motion to hold the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 2025-11, amending Molalla Municipal Code language in Chapter 2.17.010, Community Program Committee.
I move to hold the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 2025-11.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? Christie, will you call the roll?
Counselor Gilmer.
Aye.
Counselor Schenkel.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Counselor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 5-0.
All right, up next will be resolution number 2025-24, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with the Department of Land Conservation and Development to fund housing production strategy remediation. I see Mr. Corthel's not here. Who's taking that over?
I am your interim city planner tonight.
Feeling like nostalgia, huh?
A little nostalgia here. If I may, so this intergovernmental agreement is, the housing production strategies, I should say first, this is not the process where we get to look at the area to the north. Okay? That is coming. That one is coming to you, but it's not here yet. This one is funding that DLCD. In plain terms, DLCD has rejected twice our housing production strategies. The housing production strategies were put together by a DLCD appointed consultant, Violet, that you have all met. But they have rejected that work. Now, we have a little bit of a problem with the rejections because the rejections are not supported in the administrative rules. And if you know anything about our assistant city manager, he will dig through that stuff until he can't breathe. So he can't find proof of it neither, and I've looked, not near what Mr. Corthell has, but it's unsubstantiated of what their problem is. So they're giving us more money to do this, but the difference is we're going to do the work. We're not going to hire a consultant to do the work, but so we are going to manage the work ourselves. And I think which is our choice. It's not, we're not going to go through that whole thing again and be right where we started. So if you have any questions about that, I know you guys have had presentations on it, but it's the item that we look to the north instead of the south, that's coming later. That's coming later. So did I explain that well enough to you all? So.
All right. Is there a motion to approve resolution number 2025-24, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with the Department of Land Conservation and the development to fund housing production strategy remediation?
I'll move the Molalla City Council to adopt resolution number 2025-24, authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with DLCD to fund housing production strategy remediation.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any questions or discussion?
We need to have Scott sign that tonight, too.
Mr. Huff, how long will
Excuse
this
me.
process take?
This new one, it'll probably be next spring. For us to complete the work, is that what you're talking about?
Right.
Next spring.
So what does that put us with? I thought we had to have this done by March.
Well, isn't March kind of spring?
So there's no real time to...
No, and if
Review.
DLCD is going to pay for it, they're going to approve the process that we take, even if we need an extension. So.
Oh, so we can do an extension?
Yeah, yeah, and I will tell you that there is some movement throughout the state for the overreach that we're not the only city that's experiencing these similar issues, okay, the overreach by DLCD. And so by the time we get there, I think there'll be some other things that we'll have to look at, so.
Okay. Perfect. We have a motion and a second. Christie, will you call the roll?
Certainly. Councilor Gilmer.
Aye.
Councilor Schenkel.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Councilor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 5-0.
All right, up next, we're going to do staff communication. I'm going to do it a little bit backwards tonight. We're going to start off with Mr. Huff.
Oh, you skipped Are you going to start with me?
Yeah, this is it.
I was kind of hoping you'd start with Cindy tonight,
Okay.
and so she can go through staff communication A, B, and there should be a D on there.
Okay. I was just going by
And then you can hand
what
it
my
to me.
paperwork said, so.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect. It's all you, Cindy.
Okay, so good evening, council. As you're aware, we received our 7th budget award. We received our 2nd financial reporting award, and because we were able to get the financial award, we were able to apply for the 3rd and final award offered through the GFOA, which was the PAFR, which we received. So we are now nationally awarded out through the GFOA. Now we just have to work hard to maintain those awards and keep getting them every year. By doing all 3 of those, we've become Triple Crown status. So there's only 3 other cities in Oregon that have the Triple Crown as of right now. So it's more of a process,
rare
not everybody
company.
wants to do it. So in order to make sure that we did receive it, I had volunteered to be a reviewer with the GFOA for the PAFR, so I could have the inside angle. And so, yeah.
Perfect. That is incredible news, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you to you and your staff for all your incredible work.
Yeah, we have a really good team here at Molalla, and everybody works really hard, and we have a lot of talent, and so it makes it pretty easy, actually.
I was also supposed to let you know Councilor Vicinius couldn't make it tonight, but he also said to say thank you for your hard work and congratulate you also. He sent me a message yesterday.
Very nice.
Mr. Huff, I will lead it off to you.
Pass those down. I have something to read, and it's a letter of commendation, and I'm going to read it word for word. It's Dear Finance Director Sharon, that would be you, Cindy. As I reflect back to a time when you were senior accountant for the city of Molalla, I'm reminded of your professional growth and the growth of this municipality. In your time as finance director, not only have you embraced financial excellence, but you have taken this challenge to a whole new level. Because of you and your staff, Molalla is one of only 4 cities in the state of Oregon to have obtained all 3 of the coveted GFOA, Government Finance Officers Association Financial Excellence Awards, making the city a Triple Crown Award winner. GFOA's Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, the ACFR, Distinguished Budget Award, and the Popular Annual Finance Report, or the PAFR. Need to work on those acronyms a little bit in that finance area, but the financial leadership you have provided to the city and the support you have provided to every city department is a significant factor in Mollalla's financial health. Our accomplishments as a government agency have been visible and have been recognized not only by our citizenry, but other agencies. I am honored to have been a small part of your growth, and I am proud of where the city of Molalla is positioned going into the future. It is with these thoughts that I present you with this letter of commendation for your exemplary service to this deserving community.
Aw.
There you go.
See, we told you your husband should have stuck around.
This might be the only time I say this, Dan, but I think I'm speechless.
That would be a first.
Wow.
Well deserved.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Yes.
We really appreciate you. All right, up next, let's go with Seth. You got anything you'd like to report, sir?
So, cool little tidbit, the middle school reached out a little bit back and they wanted to see about doing a program that the students would be able to do some learning slash plant tour situation. So through some work over the last month or so, Actually, just yesterday, we finalized an outline and some activity work for them to be able to do a plant tour at the water and wastewater facilities and get to learn about how their public works system works. So I'm excited about that because not only good for us, but good for the kids, good for the future of the state as a whole. So
That's great.
and then you guys saw my presentation on wastewater plant, and that's moving along, and we're moving along on getting into design on the intake, so at the water plant, so things are moving forward and we're growing.
Perfect. Appreciate it, sir.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. And I know Christy's been waiting a week for this, and so you are up finally.
I would like to direct your attention, please, to page 53 in your packet, and that is going to be our item C this evening, the Molalla Public Library 2024-2025 Statistics Report. There are some really incredible numbers there. Total visitors are up over 8%. 45,000 people went through our public libraries last year. Our total card holders is over 6,600 people. Items checked out, over 95,000. I mean, it just goes on. And what I did a little bit of research, and what I found out about our library group is that they are made up of only 5 full-time staff people, 11 part-time staff. So when I think about the staff that they have and the infographic that they provided us this evening, those numbers are really staggering. It's quite impressive. So just wanted to brag on my library colleagues for a moment. And then the follow-up, as a reminder to everyone, we do still have a planning commission seat open, and that is available to community members within Molalla city limits, please. And then I wasn't able to share an announcement with you last week since we weren't able to hold a meeting. Last Wednesday, I was contacted by Mike Harris regarding the passing of his mom, Mary Jo Mackey. Mary Jo served on the Molalla City Council for 8 years, and she loved serving our community in that way. She was 95 years old and lived independently until May of this year when cancer took over her body. And I'd like to honor her memory by reading her obituary. It's quite impressive how she served our community. Mary Jo was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to Joe Miller Wall and Emily Shoemaker Wall. She was raised in Little Rock, Arkansas, and graduated from Mount St. Mary's Academy at age 17. She married Robert Miller Harris, Naval Air Volunteer from Queens, Long Island, New York. They raised 2 children, Cheryl Ann and Michael J. Harris. She remarried in 1974 to Louis Curley Mackey and became stepmother to Rhonda Bray, Cheryl Smilla, and Terry Mackey. Mary Jo worked as a secretary in many disciplines before settling in Gresham, Oregon, where she became secretary to Dr. Earl Clapstein, president of Mount Hood Community College. She retired as office manager for Equitable Life Insurance Company of Iowa in Portland, Oregon. Mary Jo volunteered much of her time to improve her communities: Gresham League of Women Voters, the Charter Rape Hotline, Probation and Parole, Communities That Care, president of Molalla and Clark's Garden Clubs, one of the founders of Molalla Community Garden, and thousands of volunteer hours at Providence Hospital in Portland, Oregon. She also served 8 years on the Molalla City Council, and she is a whole body donor to the Oregon Health and Science University. Somehow she still found time to enjoy her travels in Spain, Italy, Sicily, Scotland, Ireland, England, and France. Mary Jo is survived by her daughter Cheryl Harris, son Michael Harris, 6 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren. I was so honored to have that call and I had a great conversation with her son, Michael. Mary Jo also has binders of historical information from her time serving as city council, and the city of Molalla has been offered to have those things. And of course, as your resident historian for city of Molalla, I just couldn't be more tickled to be able to honor Mary Jo in that way, and also to be able to receive that gift from the Harris family. So thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Huff?
One thing, well, a couple of things, but as we finish up our police facility, which is actually happening, and if you haven't been over there, let me know. We'll get you in. They are planning a grand opening, if you will. It's kind of an odd thing to celebrate a grand opening of, but we need to. So that'll be coming. They're working on that. And when I say they, not me, they're working on planning that out, and it'll be very neat to do that. I think I hope this community is phenomenally proud of that facility. And what was it? The individual sitting across from me today said Molalla deserves nice things, and when he was giving me a tour of the wastewater treatment plant, thought it was an odd time to bring that up, but it's true.
It is very true.
So that's a good thing. So as we finish up one project, and we know that the project Seth talked about is going to take quite a while to finish, we always come up with new ones, and the new one that we kicked off today was something that you put in your budget when that was to create a design for the new library. As you know, we leased the library from the school district. We need to move it out of there for their ability to use the space for kids. And so we kicked that off today by meeting with architects who were interested in doing the design. There's no construction as part of where we are right now, but we had how many? 30?
We had 24 agencies interested and 33 people on the call.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was not expecting that many, but we got that many. So that's a good thing, and I hope that pans out for the future when we head into construction, hopefully sooner than later. But I wanted to tell you that, and I do think people are paying attention a little bit. We have a new police station. We're building a wastewater treatment plant, and we did an RFP for the library, a new library. Those are pretty substantial projects, especially when you consider we're a medium-sized town in Oregon, but it doesn't seem like we're medium. But we do medium to large things, and that's a good thing. So that's really all I have. I am going to be gone Friday. I need to go to Texas for my uncle's memorial. So
Just a little bit on the amount of calls you had today regarding the library. Housing is slowing down. Construction is slowing down. It's going into winter. So it's a very, very good time to do this. You're going to get a lot of attention because civil projects are guaranteed money. And so we should be able to hopefully get a fairly good bid out of it, because there's going to be companies that, I know there's a lot of companies right now that are not working. And in my industry, just in the trucking side, as you know, I'm off tomorrow, and it's because there is no work for me to do tomorrow. So this is a very good time to put this project out, because it's going to make the bid very, very competitive. So hopefully we can get one of those outstanding bids like we did for the sewage treatment plant.
there you go.
So, all right. Up next, council communications. Councilor Bartholomew, we'll start with you, sir.
I have nothing to report, Mayor Kaiser.
All right, thank you, sir. Counselor Gilmer,
Nothing to report.
Counselor Schenkel.
I just want to remind everybody tomorrow night, trick-or-treating, no, never mind, that's Friday night. This is Wednesday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
God, Friday, trick-or-treating down the city. Are we closing the city street then? So from the intersection down
South to
Molalla Avenue?
Rollins.
Okay. So be careful. Watch out for those little ones. Lots of little ones.
Yep. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Counselor Vermillion. Council President Vermillion.
Just echoing what Councilor Schenkel was saying also. Look out for those kids. It's Friday. Everyone's going to, all the kids are going to be running crazy. High on sugar, you know, so anyway, it might be a little rainy, so yeah, it'll be fun times. All right. Seth, wow, the wastewater treatment plant coming together like it is, it's awesome. And like I mentioned before, and Mayor Kaiser, we've been getting a lot of questions, like at conferences, what's going on? We're hearing all this stuff about this guy named Seth and his wastewater treatment plant. Yeah, and then Cindy, the Triple Crown winner. Oh my goodness. Wow, congratulations. You're just making only 4 cities in the city, or the state of Oregon. That's amazing. It's, you know, Molalla is really making a name for itself. Let's see, what else? And then, you know, the library coming together like this, we've got, you know, the RFP going out. So much is going on in Molalla. It's just fun. And that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Last Wednesday, Dan and I met with PGE. They have I think she's newer, this year new, Heidi working for them, and her boss Larry came in. Larry basically took over where Randy Ely left when he retired, and they were wanting to know how we're doing, what do we need, what are we looking at. And so one of the very first subjects I brought up with them was what happened with Danson's over at the old Avison Mill, which for those that weren't here, there needed to be a PGE upgrade which cost several $1 million, and PGE at the time was not willing to talk or negotiate, and so they basically said sorry. And so we lost out on some jobs and industry in our city. And so I made a plea to PGE that if they would work on this upgrade, basically it would be nothing but profit for them, because it would have to come in from Knife River and go all the way out to Avison Mill. And that our goal hopefully is that would all be industrial park at some point, which would need a lot more, it would be using a lot more power. And so hopefully they saw that. They have said that they would like to be more involved with Molalla in sponsorship, with events and stuff like that. And so I think it was a very, very good meeting. I believe we started off on a really good foot in building a relationship with them, and they seem actively interested in what we're doing. So I enjoyed it, and I look forward to our next encounter. Dan and I also got an email this week. C4, the committee I belong to, with its electeds throughout the county and 2 county commissioners. Next year, well, actually, they're starting it next month in November. They're doing a road show, and basically they're going to be bringing the C4 to every city. And so March, they're asking to come to Molalla. All the people that are on the C4 committee will be coming, and I think that's when we'll probably be rescheduling our presentation of Molalla. And they're very interested in learning about rural cities, because the majority of the cities are urban. The majority of them are metro. We're neither. And so they're very interested in hearing the struggles and the good and the bad that we have going on out here. So next month C4 is in Canby. But they want to come out in March. They want to use some local vendors to host a dinner for the committee, and very excited to see that they're coming this direction and starting to see what we have going on. For those of you who don't know, October 2nd, the supposed emergency session ended with a dark looming bill I've nicknamed it the ODOT bailout. We're waiting for the governor to sign or not sign. I found out last night that she doesn't even have to sign it. As of, I believe, October 12th, it automatically goes into play. Myself and a lot of volunteers, I think we have almost 30 volunteers, will have 3 booths here in Molalla. Both entrances at Safeway, one at the Space Age, and then one at Troy's Diesel. And then for the people in Colton, or if you're traveling between here and Colton, Clyde and Bob's 76 station in between, we'll have a booth there for people to come sign a petition. We will basically have until just before Christmas to get 100,000 signatures across the state. They're saying we'll have roughly 45 days we should have a 90-day process. So we have exactly, probably even less than half the time normal because of the governor's lack of signing this bill. And so we're going to be out there. There's leadership across this entire state. Every city, every community will have places for people to sign. As long as you're a registered voter, you can come sign it. And then we will also have, I believe, Triangle Printing and the Glass Doctor will be businesses that people can go into during the day and get signatures. Monday through Friday, we'll just be doing signatures at night. Saturdays and Sundays, we'll be there from like 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. But if anybody wants to volunteer, please go to notaxor.com. It's a real simple registration process. Once you register, then the director will send us your information, but we have to go that route before we can get volunteers because they have a pretty strict organization pattern that they're following to make sure everything's done right. So, yes, sir.
The location's going to be posted on media and the times for everybody, or which ones?
I'm going to be starting a Facebook page just for South Clackamas County because all the captains, there's a captain for Estacada, I do Molalla, and myself and Paige Lance are doing Molalla and Canby. We have one in Molino, Oregon City, and Canby. I'm going to start one Facebook page that will it'll cover all of those areas for South Clackamas. And so it'll break down the hours, what days we're there, pictures, stuff like that. Also, just kind of thanking our volunteers for helping and stuff. So. But hopefully that page will be up starting this weekend. Okay. So, but we haven't started the signatures. We're probably looking at November 15th to the 18th is when we'll actually be up and running and able to start getting signatures right now. So, I hit on everything. Mm-hmm. Tours tomorrow, if anybody wants to go. Police station at 11:10 for council, or sewage treatment plant at 12:30. You're more than welcome to come join me. I'm playing catch up, so if there isn't anything else for the good of the order, I will adjourn this meeting at 6:48.